The Better Business Bureau is warning job seekers about a rise in hiring scams. They say employment scams are the third most reported scam since May, and many of them are coming from text messages and emails. Some scammers send texts claiming the recipient has been selected for a job, asking them to reply yes to confirm their number's active. Sometimes they even offer some form of compensation. Then after you give that information, they end up taking your money instead. Indeed Workplace Trends editor Priya Rathod is here with more on some tips on how to protect yourself, especially if you are looking for a job. And Priya, thankfully I'm very happy in my job, but even I'm seeing these texts too. So are there legitimate recruiters that do use text messages to find potential candidates?
Well, look, I think there's a couple of things that you need to be aware of. Legitimate recruiters, if they're reaching out to you, typically they're going to reach out via job platform, via an email, and they're going to have a verified and official email address. The text messages that you referenced that we're seeing right now, there are these offers where they're offering high flexibility, high pay, high perks, but they're not giving you a lot of information about the job or the company. And that is a big red flag.
So when you get an email from someone, you can look at the email address itself and see if it matches the URL of the company it's claiming to come from. How do you go about verifying whether a text you're getting is from a real recruiter?
Typically, recruiters are not going to send you texts unless you've shared your personal information somewhere. So if it's not a verified phone number, even as it relates to Indeed, there's 3 or 4 phone numbers that Indeed sends text messages from, and your phone will identify them as a text message from Indeed. So if you're not seeing that, most likely it's a scam. I would definitely beware of text messages. Recruiters are typically going to communicate with you, again, via email or via job platform.
And you talked about giving your personal information. Sometimes as we're going through the process of searching for a new job, you're asked for your information in lots of different places. So what are some tips on how to protect yourself here?
So there's a couple of things that you need to be aware of. I think one, we talked about, if it sounds too good to be true, then it definitely is too good to be true. Also, legitimate employers, they're never going to ask you for personal financial information or offer to pay you before you've completed any type of work. So that's another thing that you really need to be aware of. You know, at Indeed, we're aware of these scammers that are going out using Indeed's name, and they're not affiliated with Indeed in any way. And we take that kind of misuse very seriously. There's also on Indeed, we encourage job seekers to visit Indeed's guidelines for a safe job search and common scams to avoid, because we're putting information up regularly about what scams are out there right now, how to avoid them, and how to conduct a safe job search.
All right, good to know. Priya Rathod, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.